This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. At least 151 protesters were detained today in Yerevan, according to police figures, for taking part in acts of civil disobedience across the capital, mostly by blocking streets. As demonstrators continue to call on Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan to resign over a border delimitation deal reached last month with Azerbaijan. In practice, that deal would see Armenia cede control of 4 abandoned Azerbaijani border villages that are located close to Armenia's main highway to Georgia, while allowing Azerbaijan, for now, to retain control over territories within Armenia that it occupies. Today's detentions come after Archbishop Bagrat Galistanyan, who has emerged over the past week as the protest movement's leader, called on attendees to begin acts of civil disobedience during a speech yesterday on Yerevan's Central Republic Square. Under Armenian law, police cannot hold those detained on administrative charges for more than 3 hours. As of this afternoon, all protesters detained today had already been released. Meanwhile, in Parliament, the opposition Armenia and I Have Honor blocs have together pledged to attempt to oust Pashinyan through a vote of no confidence. Tabling such a motion would require the support of 36 lawmakers, while actually toppling Pashinyan would take 54 lawmakers out of 107. Altogether, the opposition holds only 35 seats. Independent lawmaker Ishkhan Zakarian, who could provide the crucial 36th vote to bring the motion to oust Pashinyan up for consideration, has reportedly met with Galistanyan at least twice in recent days. Armenian law bars dual citizens, including Galistanyan, who also has a Canadian passport, from serving as prime minister. Galistanyan has called for the formation of an interim non-partisan government of national unity to replace Pashinyan. For his part, at a press conference last week, Pashinyan accused the protesters, who he claimed are under the influence of drug lords, criminals, and foreign special services, of seeking to incite war and the de facto dissolution of Armenian sovereignty and statehood. He did not provide any evidence to back up those highly inflammatory claims. In other news, despite last month's border delimitation deal, Armenia and Azerbaijan continue to disagree on key provisions of a long-elusive normalization agreement, even after 2 days of talks between the two countries' top diplomats in Kazakhstan that ended over the weekend. The parties agreed to continue negotiations on the open issues where differences still exist, the two countries' foreign ministries said in nearly identical statements Saturday. There was no additional information made immediately available. Pashinyan indicated last week he hoped for progress to be made at the summit in Kazakhstan, where foreign ministers Ararat Mirzoyan of Armenia and Ceyhun Bayramov of Azerbaijan held their first talks in months last Friday and Saturday. In addition, Pashinyan said last week he hopes to sign a peace treaty with Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev by November, the month Baku is set to host this year's global climate talks. Aliyev previously said that timeline seems quite realistic. You can also take a look at the latest edition of CivilNet's weekly business digest. Armenia's cabinet is considering doubling taxes on small businesses. The central bank continues to study HSBC's proposed sale of its local subsidiary, and negotiations over a major expansion plan at Yerevan's main airport continue. For all of these stories, you can find the full broadcast up now on our website and YouTube channel. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 183. That's the total number of points awarded over the weekend to Lada Niva, Armenia's entry to the Eurovision Song Contest this year, placing the duo 8th out of 25 acts. It is Armenia's first top 10 result in Eurovision in nearly a decade. Switzerland's Nemo took home first prize this year. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.